Hey everybody, this is Rob from Revelation Rain. Just doing another video for the kind of doing the backstory on each of the songs that's on our most recent CD, Day of the Lord. And today I'm going to do kind of a combination of doing the backstory on the song, but also we're going to take a look at the preliminary music video that we made for this song. We Are the Night is the name of the song, and it was the first single from our CD. We ended up making this video for it. We were going to make a better video, but for right now this is what we have, and it's not too bad. The song is one that has always been in our live set ever since it was brought to the band. And it's one of those songs that's kind of a rallying cry, an anthem, so to speak. Think along the lines of Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss. We knew we wanted a song that people could rally around, that people could sing along with us. And coming out of the year that we had just had, and everyone's familiar with what happened in 2020, 15 months here in Michigan, the state was pretty well shut down. And although we as a band continued to play live all throughout those 15 months, and we managed to record 2 CDs, a lot of people were hesitant to come out. There were a lot of people that had reservations about going into large crowds or whatever else, and that's a topic for another day. But the point being is that for those 15 months, a lot of people, all of us to a certain extent, felt like we were being confined. Okay? And you can debate the reasons on another channel. That's not what we're here for today. The point being is that once those restrictions were lifted, okay, and people were comfortable and ready, everybody was ready to go out again. We want to go see some live shows, some live concerts. This song was born of that. It basically describes the feeling of helplessness, or the feeling of being confined for those 15 months, and then now all of a sudden we can enjoy life again. We can go out, we can go to live shows, we can go to the supermarket, we can go to the mall, we can do all these things again. And musically, it was something that I had put together. I worked on this song probably more so than I have almost any other song I've ever written. The exception maybe being Crown of Thorns. But musically, I knew what I was going for. I knew what I wanted. I wanted it to be upbeat, and I wanted it to have a hard rock sound, but also to have a pop lining, so to speak. Something that, think along the lines of Poison. Glam rock. They were hard rock, but they had a pop edge to them, and it appealed to a wider audience, and that's what we were looking for with this. So when I wrote the music, I wanted it to be upbeat. I wanted to have a breakdown section. Think of Come On, Feel the Noise. So all these influences that we have, that's what I wanted to put into this song. I wanted it to be a rallying cry. That was our goal. And in a conversation that I had with Grant, I hadn't written any lyrics yet. I had the title, and I had a few lines that I knew I wanted in the chorus of the song, but the verses really had not been written yet. And I remember Grant and I sitting in his basement, and this was like toward the tail end of the shutdown. Okay, say 4 or 5 weeks before it finally ended. And he was saying stuff like, we're not meant as human beings to be confined, to be locked up, to be in our homes. And without even realizing it, he's given me lyrical ideas. So lyrically, it's some of my input, and it's some of Grant's input. And between the two of us, and even though it was maybe subconscious or unconscious, I don't know, what he was saying made its way into the song. So lyrically, it was a joint effort. And once we had the lyrics in place, and I had the arrangements down, and we had everything put together, I brought it to the band, and I was hoping that they would love it. I was hoping that they would like it, that they would hear what I was hearing, this rallying cry, this anthemic uh, sort of a song that's, you know, wide in scope. Okay, that's what we wanted. That's what I had hoped we had brought to the table. And when the guys heard it, they loved it, and they heard what I was hearing. They heard what Grant was hearing. They understood this is going to be the song that will be the first single. Because as much as Holy is a song that set the pace and the tone for the album, We Are the Night kind of steps outside of that and appeals to people who typically maybe are not into hard rock or metal. But it reaches out and it grabs you and it pulls you in. So if Holy is the one that sets the pace and the tone, then We Are the Night is kind of like that fishing line that you're casting out there, okay, and you're reeling people in, okay, who ordinarily maybe wouldn't come to the party. But this song does that. Whenever we play it live, it's always a song that people get into. And on the studio version, there's a short breakdown period where it's just the drums and I'm kind of talking over that, and then we go right back into the chorus. When we do this live, when we have a good audience, which is every time we play out, I'll extend that breakdown and I'll interact with the people and get them to sing back with, and it's a great thing. It's phenomenal. We all enjoy that. It's like this give and take, this back and forth between, you know, the four of us on stage and all the people in the audience. And you'll see that in this video. When we put the video together, a majority of the track is the studio version. The footage is from a couple of different shows that we played in Hot Rocks in Warren. But when it gets to that breakdown section, it switches from the studio track to a live track. That's why you'll hear kind of a difference between the sound. But we wanted that breakdown period to be there. We wanted for people, when they watch the video, to see the interaction that we get when we do this song. And for those of you who haven't seen the video, I won't give it away, but there's something cool that we added to this song, a particular prop that we brought, and I'll talk about it when we get to it. But that's the history of the song. That's the backstory. Just a melding of ideas, a melding of drawing from all these influences and just making it, trying to encapsulate all of that 15 months of being shut down, encapsulate it into a 4-minute song. Now, you know, we're happy, we're out, you know, this stuff is ending, the world is opening up again, let's celebrate, you know, responsibly, of course. But that's what the song's about. I think, you know, like I said, it's one of those songs that I took more time on than just about any other song other than Crown of Thorns. It was a process of probably 5 or 6 months where I would just get lyrical ideas and I'd write it down. Lyrical ideas, write it down. And when I, you know, try to put the music together, you know, I would record certain ideas and then it was a matter of just arranging the parts, you know, throwing some away, bringing in new ones. It was a process because we knew we wanted it to be upbeat, we wanted it to be uplifting. And like I said, when Grant and I had the conversation, and he's not even knowing that he's giving me all these cool lyrical ideas, that those, you know, those things that he was saying made their way into the song as well. So that's the history of the song. The video, like I said, was just kind of, we wanted to put something out there that would kind of demonstrate the reaction and the interaction that the song elicits when we play live. The goal is to make a better video, and we've got ideas for that, and we'll see what happens, right? But for right now, that's the history. Now I'm going to show you the video, and I might pause it here and there and just kind of talk some more. But this is the video. You can find it on our YouTube channel. Just look Revelation Rain. So without any further yapping, let's jump into this video. All right. And hopefully you can see it well up here on the big screen. When putting the video together, I've always thought it was cool when videos start off with a countdown. It makes you anticipate something's coming. So we put that up there, and then of course the title, you know, the title card, so you know who you're watching and what this is about. And of course, a shameless plug for the new CD. No shame there, really. All right, so here we go. I love cityscapes, so just about any video that we work on will have a cityscape. Just something I'm fascinated with. Turn the volume up a little bit. So right here, this is a show that we played at Hot Rocks, and I don't remember what month it was. We played a lot of shows. It kind of becomes a blur after a while, but I can tell this is the second time that we played Hot Rocks, because the first time we had different outfits. The outfits in the stage show was always evolving, and we have more lighting here. We have more props, which you'll see at the breakdown period, and we're wearing different clothing here. We've got a more, I would say, the better developed look at this point. And I'm wearing the red and black leather duster thing that I bought, which was heavier than all get out, and it was like being in a sauna. Okay, but for the love of rock and roll, you do what you got to do. All of us are up there sweating our tails off. But I can tell that this is the second time because of that coat that I'm wearing. When we played there the first time, I was wearing a sort of a black sparkly jacket with tails, kind of like a tuxedo jacket. And I think some of that footage makes its way into this video as well. There's a good sized audience here. The problem is that the way Hot Rocks is set up is there's the stage, which is a nice big stage, and then a big dance floor area, and then the seating is on the other side of that dance floor. So if people aren't up toward the dance floor, if they're just sitting in their seats enjoying their beverages and food but still watching the show, you can't see them because of where the cameras are placed. Now some people would walk up to the front of the stage and you'll see that, but unfortunately it gives the illusion that there's only like 15 people there, and in reality there's probably 50 or 75. It's just that they're sitting behind the cameras. So to kind of, again, make it feel and look more like what it really was like to be there, we've got some stock footage of people at a concert cheering, but it's overlaid on the actual footage that we're shooting. It's not dishonest. There really were that many people there. It's just that where the cameras were set, you can't see them. So you want to project what was really happening there, so you augment some things, okay? All right, so let's keep going. Okay, a couple of things. The chorus, lyrically, again, is epitomizing everything that we all were feeling come out of the 15 months. We are the night, standing on top of the world, we are the night, our flag remains unfurled. And then the next part, standing here with our crowd, and of course, right here, this isn't the crowd. I'm not pretending like there were that many people there, but again, it's a visual representation of what the lyric is saying. Standing here with our crowd, never going to be too loud. And too loud, of course, is in parentheses. We're never going to be too loud. There's no such thing as being too loud, okay? If it's too loud, you're too old. So the saying says. So the saying goes, whatever. So, again, we wanted a visual representation of what the song is saying. So here is some stock footage of a large audience. Not to say we didn't play to some really large crowds, we did, but and we actually, you know, this footage right here, this is stock footage, but this, when we had ideas to make a better video for this, it was going to look a lot like this, just with real people. So there we are. JT with his awesome fills. Every time, every time. Another killer guitar solo from JT. Wanted to highlight this, so started playing around with some effects that I had on the editing program. So it looks like we got two JTs. So here, obviously, you can hear the difference in the tone, the quality of the audio, because now it's the actual live audio track from the show that we played. And right here, this footage I can tell is footage from the first time we played there, because I have that that jacket I was talking about, the black sparkly one. So I think it'll bounce between the two. So if the outfits are changing, it's because it's between the first and second time that we played. But this is the breakdown section extended. Okay, and you'll see that the interaction, you can hear the people, and you can hear that there's a lot of people. It's just that they're, again, behind the cameras, but they're interacting, they're participating, they're enjoying this just as much as we are. And yeah, when we get to the part where we have this cool prop that we introduced, we'll take a look at that when we get there.
Hey, listen. We heard that this is the place to be on a Friday night. Am I hearing that correctly? You listen to us sing tonight. Now we want to have a turn. We want to hear you sing. But first, I think we need to get warmed up. So I want you to repeat after me.
So it's interesting because from what angle I'm wearing the black jacket, then when it switches to this camera angle, now I'm wearing the black and red. Again, it was just a fusion of the two shows that we did. But the audio track is from, I'm not sure if it's from the first show or the second show, but you can hear, and again, these people are sitting behind the cameras, and you can hear them clearly. And like I said, there was a good number of people there that night. I think there were 3 or 4 bands that played that night, and we felt sorry for anyone that had to play after us. And that's not being arrogant. Is as humble as we can be. Anytime that we've played, whenever people have to play, after us, good luck. But that's rock and roll.
Pretty good for a first time. And pretty good for a rehearsal. But I know that Warren can do better than that. Let's try it again. Repeat after me. Hey, 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 yeah! Hey, 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 yeah! I think they're ready. What do you guys think? They think you sound pretty good too. I think you're ready to sing this with us. Repeat after me. We are the
So there's really good interaction between what we're doing on stage and with the audience, and they're really digging the song, and they don't even know yet what's about to happen, which is the coolest part. Is this new special effect that we introduced? We kept it on the down low. We didn't tell anyone that we were bringing this in. I think the guy that owned the place, when we were setting up, glanced at it and said, "Is that what I think it is?" And he said what it was. And I think we played it off and said it was something like a cotton candy maker or something like that. And he just kind of shook his head and walked away. But we knew that no matter we knew that it was going to go over well, and that nobody was going to expect what we were about to do. And the venue itself has really good lighting. You can see, they have really good lighting. But we had our own lighting too, fog machines that was send smoke straight up with LEDs, so they look like flames. And we had a laser light, which just was phenomenal. That worked great. We were always adding new stuff just to take it up a notch. And this new prop that we're about to use, you'll see it. It went over like gangbusters because no one at the local level is doing this kind of stuff. But again, we grew up on very visual bands. Grant and I in particular, being huge Kiss fans, were constantly looking for what can we do to set ourselves apart, not only musically, but visually. So that's the point. So here we go.
Sounded pretty darn good. We have the microphones, but you guys have the numbers. All around the world, people are looking for the right place and the right time to celebrate. We're here to tell you that right here, right now is that place and that time. So go ahead and lift your voices to the Lord.
Here it comes.
We want to hear you sing.
Yes. Be honest. When's the last time you went to a show, local unsigned bands, and they did that? Now, I know it's just a confetti cannon, but it's more than just a confetti cannon. It's augmenting the show. It's something that no one else is doing, at least at this level. Obviously, national acts probably do stuff like that. But it was something that Grant and I had, again, kind of volleyed back and forth. What if, what if we did something like this? And then I think I went on American Music Supply, and on a whim I just thought, what if they actually had a confetti cannon? And sure enough, they did. So we ordered the confetti cannon and all the confetti and made sure it was optically safe so nobody's eyes are getting scratched or poked out, whatever. And this was the debut of the confetti cannon. And like I said, no one expected it. But again, going back to the story I was telling earlier, the owner recognized immediately what it was. And when we said, well, it's just for making popcorn or cotton candy, whatever, he kind of shook his head and said, I guess I'll be cleaning up that mess. And again, not to be jerks, but yeah, you would be. We come in, we destroy the place, and then it's up to everyone else to rebuild it so we can come back and do it again. That's how Revelation Rain works. All right, here we go. Another cityscape. Now see, this right here is stock footage of people walking. They're gathering. They've got signs. I don't know what they say. Who cares? But that was something that we wanted to do when we make the new video someday, hopefully. We wanted it to represent, visualize. We wanted people to be walking toward a common goal. In this case, Revelation Rain, because we, all of us, are the night. And so we wanted to have something like this, like what's shown here, people en masse walking to this celebration, the celebration of life, celebration of freedom, celebration of rock and roll, celebration of God, all the things that Revelation Reign stands for. But as just before this scene came up, you could see just how long that confetti cannon would blow that confetti. I mean, we loaded it up pretty good, and when you hit that button, that fan would start up, and it blew at about, I would say, at least 20 or 30 feet out, and it blew for probably 3 or 4 minutes. Probably would have gone longer, but I had to I let go of the button. I had to turn the thing off. But it did make quite the mess, but more importantly, it made quite the impression. So anyway, this scene, we wanted this for this video and in the next one, because it's a representation of people walking en masse toward a common goal. Let's celebrate. So that's how we wanted to end the video. And you can tell too that it's now switched back to the audio track, the one that's on the CD. Really quickly, JT, of course, taking us out on a killer guitar solo, but you can hear Marty's bass too. And Marty's not he's not a sterile bass player. Okay, it's not about riding the root note. Marty comes up with some really impressive fills. He's a very progressive bass player. So you can hear Marty's bass playing weaving in between what the guitars are doing. Add to that the intricate drumming that Grant is laid down on this track. And if you're not a drummer, even if you're not a drummer, you should be able to hear exactly what I'm talking about. Obviously, the bass and the drums need to lock in. That rhythm section has to be there, or everything else falls apart. That's the foundation. So when you have a drummer and a bass player that can lock in like that, it's magic. It's gold. Okay, and then so, like I said, Marty being the phenomenal bass player that he is, you can't have a slacker on drums, or it's gonna fall apart. You know what I mean? It would be like if you're mixing cement. If all you have is the powder, well, you're not getting anywhere. If all you have is the water, you're not getting anywhere. You need both, and they need to gel. They need to mix in order to make the concrete, okay? So Grant's drumming was constantly progressing. He was always stepping things up. Oh, what if I did this? What if I add this? And sometimes we'd have to say, I think it's all right where it's at, but it was still reassuring knowing that he was never going to rest on his laurels. And you have to be a really good drummer, 1, to drive this song, 2, to keep up with Marty, and 3, to gel with what the guitars are doing. And guitar is mostly JT. He's knocking it out of the ballpark yet again. So it's just great musicianship. Sorry, I got an eyelash or something that's driving me nuts. But anyway, the musicianship in this band, in particular, JT, Marty, and Grant, was just off the charts. And yeah, you can hear that as we're going out on this song. Check it out. Those fills. Good stuff. Choir from heaven. It's the angels looking down on us. So We Are the Night is the second track on our CD, Day of the Lord. Like I said, Holy set the pace and the tone. We Are the Night was the song you used to reel people in. It was the hook, okay? But to be honest with you, any of the songs on this CD could have been the lead-off single. Really what it comes down to is when you put a single out there, who are you trying to bring in? Well, we'd already built a pretty good following from our live shows and even from our first CD. So it wasn't a matter of let's bring in more people who enjoy hard rock and metal, you know, or even with the attachment of Christian rock, Christian metal. We had those people. Now we want to reach outside those bounds, and let's reach some people who ordinarily would not come to this party. And "We Are the Night" was the song that we felt would do that. It kind of steps outside. I mean, it's still metal, you can hear it. There's guitars, the bass, the drums, they're all knocking it out of the park, but it has a pop edge to it so that casual people will latch onto it. And it did exactly that. Just recently, a gal put up a podcast on Mixcloud. Go to our Facebook page and you'll see the link for it. And her goal, when she puts these shows together, it says right on there, we don't want anything too heavy. So they're not looking to reach out to, your typical hard rock metal fans. She's reaching to people like what this song was doing, and she included "We Are the Night" in her podcast because even though it is a hard rock song, it has enough of a pop edge. It has crossover appeal, I guess. So anyway, that was the goal with "We Are the Night." But like I said, any of the songs could have been the lead-off single. We were all bringing just some killer ideas to this CD. Excuse me, like I said yesterday, only a few of the songs were songs that were left over from "Vengeance Is Mine." Songs that I had had for years and years. Most of these songs were new. I mean, brand new songs that everybody was bringing in. And "We Are the Night," I think, was one of the last to actually come in. And so we decided that that would be the one to be the single. And typically speaking, our single is always the second track on the CD. The first one, it was "Taste of Tomorrow." And I guess, to me, the single for a record should always be track number 2. I don't know why. I think it's because growing up, if you put on Kiss Animalize, the first song on that is "I've Had Enough," which just sets the pace for that record. It's such a killer track. But as great as that song is, you need something that's got crossover appeal, and so they went with "Heaven's on Fire" as the single, and it's track number 2. Same thing with Quiet Riot, "Metal Health." Metal Health is the lead-off track. It sets the tone and the pace for the record, but as "Come On Feel the Noise," it has that crossover appeal, and it brings people to that record who ordinarily wouldn't give it the time of day. That's kind of like what our thinking was too. You have your lead-off track that sets the tone, the pace, and reels in the people, your target audience, and then your second track, which is your single, that's the one that's got some crossover. It's going to bring people in that ordinarily wouldn't even look in your direction, right? So that's the point anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. It's up on our YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy watching these videos, just kind of giving some history and some background on these songs. I'm doing this CD first, "Day of the Lord," and there's 14 tracks, so there'll be 14 videos. And then I'll probably go back to "Vengeance Is Mine" and do the same thing. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this song. Hope you enjoyed the video, the music video, and I hope you enjoyed this video and learning a little bit about the writing process and the history behind these songs. And I encourage you again, if you don't have "Day of the Lord," you can buy it on any digital platform. We distribute through CD Baby, so it's on Spotify, Amazon, Pandora. Anything you can think of, it's there. Or if you want a physical copy of the CD, which came with like an 8-page booklet with all the song lyrics and everything else, we really went out on this release. Nice jewel case for the CD, good stuff. If you want that, it's only $10, and you can email revelationrainonline@yahoo.com. We'll get you one, no problem. All right, guys, take care and God bless.